You would have to do roughly 250,000 crunches to burn 1 single pound of fat. 250,000. And the worst part is, even if you did them, your body still wouldn't take that fat from your stomach. We have to kill the myth of spot reduction. Your body cannot burn fat from one specific area just by training the muscle sitting underneath it. Think of your body like a swimming pool. When you want to lower the water, you can't just scoop a bucket out of the deep end and leave the rest full. The whole water level drops at once. Fat loss works the same way. But for most people, the belly is the deep end. It's the last place to empty, meaning it hangs on long after your face and arms lean out. Endless crunches are a misallocation of energy. They build the muscle underneath the fat, but they can't touch the layer that's actually hiding your progress. Losing the gut requires a shift in how you allocate your limited daily time and willpower. Most people burn through their motivation on high-friction, low-yield fitness trends that don't move the needle. We can audit these efforts using this chart. The horizontal axis measures the time and physical effort required, while the vertical axis tracks the actual impact on fat loss. Ab workouts and crash diets sit in the top left quadrant. They demand maximum effort for minimal results. To see results, we need to move toward the bottom right, the low-friction, high-impact habits. If you want to lose the gut, you have to stop chasing localized pain and start building a stack of boring habits that regulate your systemic metabolism. We're going to evaluate 5 fat loss strategies based on their required input, their biological outcome, and their hidden trade-off. First is the calorie deficit. The input is a minor, sustainable reduction in daily intake, like cutting out a single snack or sugary drink. This provides the mechanical engine for fat loss, forcing your body to harvest its own systemic fat stores to make up the energy difference. The trade-off is psychological. It offers no immediate visual change, so it requires consistency over months rather than weeks. Second is walking. The input is 30 to 60 minutes of low-intensity movement every day. Walking creates a significant caloric burn over the week without spiking hunger hormones or requiring days of recovery. The trade-off is time. It is less efficient per minute than a run, which means you have to restructure your day to make it happen. These two form the base of the fat loss hierarchy. They prioritize long-term consistency over short-term exhaustion. Once the engine is running, the goal shifts to protecting your muscle mass and chemically regulating your body's stress response. Looking back at the table, strength training requires 2 to 3 full-body sessions per week. This sends a biological signal to keep your muscle. Without it, you might lose weight, but you'll end up skinny fat rather than lean. The trade-off is the learning curve and the fact that lifting itself doesn't burn a massive number of calories during the workout. There is one more non-exercise intervention that determines the success rate of every other effort on this list. Row 4 is sleep. The input is 7 to 8 hours of dedicated physical and neurological recovery. Sufficient sleep lowers systemic cortisol and suppresses hunger cravings, which reduces the friction of maintaining your dietary deficit. The trade-off is lifestyle. You have to sacrifice late-night screen time or work hours to protect that recovery window. If you don't sleep, your body biochemically fights the deficit, making your willpower nearly irrelevant. Finally, we have to address high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, which is easily the most aggressively marketed tool in the fitness industry. The input is 15 to 20 minutes of maximum effort cardiovascular output. It is highly time efficient and creates a minor metabolic afterburn. However, the trade-off is central nervous system fatigue and a massive spike in hunger, which often leads to overeating and breaking your deficit. HIIT is an optional bonus, not a magic furnace. It is only useful if your sleep and diet are already stable. These pillars work together. Sleep makes the deficit easier, walking deepens that deficit without exhaustion, and lifting ensures you have muscle to show once the fat is gone. You can find your specific bottleneck by looking at these 2 common personas. The overtrained persona is grinding 6 days a week, but their sleep and diet are completely neglected. If this is you, adding more workouts is useless. You need to stop adding stress and start fixing your recovery. The time-poor persona has high stress and almost no daily movement. Their best move is to skip the intense gym sessions and focus on a small deficit and a daily walk. Finally, you have to accept the reality of the timeline. Emptying the deep end of the pool is a physiological process that takes months of consistency, not weeks. Any program promising a flat stomach in 7 days is ignoring how the body actually works. Stop chasing the illusion of localized effort and start focusing on the boring, high ROI habits that actually get results.